Again. Why the heck am I hungry? What in tarnation makes you so hungry all the time? I don't understand. You stupid crab, taking up my yard.
So, Grandpa, I have two art questions for you.
What is this? Oh,
One,
hey.
have you ever experienced dino uploads to come across as level 1 creatures that can't be leveled?
Oh,
Have you ever seen that?
that's kind of a problem right there.
Kind of ruins them.
Well, unless you're just looking for the way they look.
Yeah, I uploaded the dinosaur lawn flamingo.
That's a nice one right there. You put it right next to your mailbox. And
That
then
takes a hell of a lot of trait darts to take those
Oh,
suckers
yeah.
down.
you got to hit him on the head with a bat. Hey, don't use the trach darts on those.
I love the pink flamingos, right?
Hey, you go to your lawn, to your next door neighbor's lawn, you get these pink flamingos, and you get them from the local grocery store. They have them in the back. You just go to your local grocery store and you ask Tim. I'm sure there's a guy there named Tim. You got to ask him. He's got the flamingos in a box, and he got them from Argentina. They're special Argentina flamingos. Argentinian flamingos. I learned about them in the war.
Is that illegal to bring flamingos from Argentina?
Yeah, they're special ones.
Special legal
They're
flamingos.
100% legal.
With the stamp on the bottom.
Oh yes, it's made in Argentina.
All right. Well, we've gone around the world and back. Thank you so much for your help with that question.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. I tried.
My second question is, how do you hatch a rock drake egg?
Well, first you got to bake an omelet.
No,
Oh, that's not what you're asking.
no, not cook.
Oh,
Hatch.
hatch, not down the hatch.
No, not down the hatch.
Oh,
No.
Well,
Actually,
first you got to have yourself a trusty steed. Do you have a trusty steed?
No, because they all came out level 1.
Well, if you get a bunch of trusty steeds, then
A bunch of them.
you get a whole bunch of trusty steeds, and you go out and you get on one of them. You got to put a saddle. Do you have a saddle for your trusty steeds?
One of them is a wyvern, so I don't need a saddle, so I'm able to get on the level 1 wyvern.
That's pretty fancy. So what you got to do is you get on your level 1 wyvern.
I try very hard not to get hit by anything, let me tell you.
That's probably a good idea. So you got to go down there and you got to bring some steak with you. You got to bring some steak with you. You got to take the little steak. It can be cooked or raw. They don't care. The rock drakes don't really care. As long as you're down there, they'll find you. All right? They'll come to you. So what you got to do is you got to have a decoy. You take your little rock drake friend that you don't have yet, and you go down there.
Right.
You get your
Yeah.
decoy, dude. You got to take it. I suggest a stego, because they're like the stego places. You might not want them to. So you might already be down there. So you take your level 22 average stegosaurus that's already down there, and you use him as bait while you take your level 1 army that you got, and you go down to the rock drake nest egg place. You know what I'm saying? It's on the corner of the map. You'll find it eventually, I'm sure. So you go down there, and you get your stego. He's off on the corner doing reconnaissance, and all the rock drakes are curious because he's got all those crazy plates on the top of his head and his back and all that other stuff. So what you do is you take your stego. I already said the stego, didn't I? He's already over there. He's doing reconnaissance. So we go back to your army of ones. We'll call them the swarm. You take your swarm down there. You take your swarm, and then you go to the rock drake nest egg place. I've already done this story, haven't I? Am I a knob?
I'll just let you go on and on.
Okay.
Go on.
So once you locate your prey, it's this egg. See? And you gotta send a trusty steed in there, preferably with one of your friends. I'd say like Cave Lady. You take your Cave Lady, you send her in there because she's really quick. She's quick like a ninja, right? So she's gonna go in there on the back of your trusty steed, whatever the wyvern you had. You send him in there, send her in there, and she's gonna grab that egg. Now this is when your trusty stego friend comes in handy because you got that knockback. He's got that crazy tail with the spikes on it. So you send him up there, you get Cave Lady that's now hauling Keister from that place where she got that egg.
Keister.
She's hauling Keister. You know what I'm talking about when it happens. You're going to hear going, ah! And that's what she's going to sound like.
I heard that she's got a mighty fine Keister.
Probably. I haven't seen it myself, but she's probably pretty good. So you got the little Stego up there hauling. He's ready. See, your average Stego he's ready. He's been through lots of stuff. You could tell because he's level 22, much higher than your level 1s that you got there. See, that's how it works in this game. It's one of them things, levels. You get more experience, you get higher levels. So you got your Cave Ladies running about 4,000 Mach 2s. Yeah, add all the Mach 2s together, you're about 4,000. That's what she's going to be running at that point. Because you got every rock drake in that bottom cellar where they keep all their eggs. It's a cellar now. It's where they keep all the rock drake wine. And, yeah, that's where she came from. So she's running up the side of the cliff. She's trying not to get killed by these rock drakes. It's we're going to say probably about 12 of them at once is what you're going to have to deal with. So you got your Stego, and you're going to play. The Stego is strategically placed so when the rock drakes run over the edge, he's going to bat them with his tail. So it's rock drake baseball. So it's going to happen. And obviously, he's going to hit them so hard that their claws disengage and they fall down because they can't fly. So they'll give you time to get back up. So as they come up one by one, he's going to knock them down, and then you leave them as a sacrifice. That's how you get out with your rock drake egg. That's what happens right there. I'm taking a sip of my coffee now.
And Equinox goes silent. Oh, goodness.
So I take the spiky keister and I leave the bait with the flappy. Oh, I don't remember. You're going to have to tell me again.
I'm sure somebody's going to make a video of it. Oh, she asked how to hatch an egg, not get one.
Well, first you got to make an omelet.
Oh.
Okay. And just because I already have the egg.
Oh, well. That's a completely different story than what I was trying to tell you there.
Did you know how to hatch it?
That's so. Well, this is part of the hatching because you have to get one, but it seems like you already got your Stego and your army of swarm ones. So, what you got to do now is you got to go down to what you call the blue zone. Have your egg ready to be hatched, okay? Because it's only going to take a little bit. So what you got to go to the blue zone. You got to take one of your little Bob Dog friends, one of the ones that gives you some light. What you got to do, if you remember those commercials back in the day, you got your little clappies. You know what they call the clapper? I think it's what you got to clap your hands twice, like that right there, and he turns his little light on. And what happens is.
Use protection during intimate things.
Yes, exactly. So it depends on the situation. You either want to clap on or you want to clap off.
I want to clap off, that's for sure.
Okay, at that point, yeah, definitely. You want to clap off at that point, yes. But for this instance, you want to clap on. You want your clapper on when you go down there. Because there's going to be these critters that pop out of the ground that try to eat you. They go try to eat you right in the face. And the whole thing is they're called the Nameless. And I've actually named every single one of them. If you want me to go through and let you know, one is Fred. I named him after my next door neighbor when I was a kid. He was a complete. I forgot what I called him, but he was named Fred. So we got.
Take a while, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Well, we'll leave that story for a later time. But we'll just say Fred here. Him and his posse. Fred and his posse try to hop out of the ground if you don't got your blinking beacon on. You know what I'm saying? So you better have your light pad on your pocket, up on your shoulder, because you got shoulder pockets. And what you got to do is turn it on, because otherwise they're going to come out and say hello. You don't want them to say hello. So not until you get into the right spot. So you got to walk around till you hear them going, "Rah!" That's the sound they make. Is "Rah!" Kind of sounds like me when I'm angry, but you don't need your light for me. I'm perfectly fine. You're just not going to burn my retinas or nothing. So what you got to do is you turn your light off. Once you get to your spot, your location, in the blue zone, doesn't matter. As soon as you're in the blue zone, it's good. So you turn your light off, and then these creepy crawlies are going to jump out of the ground like daisies out of a freaking garden where you're trying to grow vegetables. It's everywhere, like dandelions. That's what I'm talking about. So what you got to do is turn your light off, and you get your army of ones, since that's apparently what it seems like you got here, and you start smacking them in the face. It's where, hey, Smacks, welcome back to the channel. I'm telling how you're supposed to hatch a rock drake. And we went through apparently how to get a rock drake when that wasn't the question, but that's what we're doing. So you got to go to the blue zone. You've turned off your light. You got your army of about 1,000 particular fillers coming out of the ground like dandelions when you don't want dandelions. So you got to kill them. And hopefully your army of ones at this point have at least leveled up to level 4. So you can actually go try to kill your the nameless as they pop out. Because what you need out of these fellers is something called nameless venom. And don't let them bite you because they might kill you. So you're on. Yeah, it's called nameless venom. That's what you got to do. So you get your nameless venom, and that's all you need really. So you take it back to your base place after you've killed. I probably get about probably about 20 starting out. Just to stockpile for a little bit. You take it back to your frigidator, back at the base place that you got over there, and then you put it in the frigidator. And what you got to do when you go to hatch this rock drake, you got to make sure the thing has enough air conditions. All right, they need some really cold conditions to be able to actually hatch. So you got to do probably about 6 air conditions to be safe. I don't know. That's what we've used in the past. Sorry, a little bit of frog in my throat there. So it was about 6 air conditions. And then you got to make sure they're on.
That's going to be cold.
That's going to be bright. Actually, no.
That's going to freeze your keister.
It might freeze your keister and other various body parts off, too, if you're not careful. So you might be, but the good thing is, these things, they also give you heat. It's like insulation. It's like insulation is what you got to do. So you just turn them on and you'll be safe. So you put the rock drake egg down. You let it mature, right? It's got to gestate, incubate. That's right, it's incubate. That's what it's talking about. Let me take a sip of my coffee real quick. Whoa, dog, that's some good stuff straight from Colombia. It's good coffee. So, you got your egg is incubating. You wait till it gets probably about 1%, and then you got to go outside because your base is probably going to be attacked by random dinosaurs at that point. So then it becomes a mad scramble. Yep. Hey, I've fought many a dinosaur back in my day, so yeah. So you gotta go right now at this point. You got your eggs at about 1% before it's supposed to go off. You got about 40,000 dinos outside of your base because you never built walls. I'm having flashbacks. I'm sorry. I'm just having some flashbacks. I lost the old stego. No, it was my Ravager. I lost my Ravager to a stego tape at that point. It's okay. So, I'm gonna calm myself. Give me a moment. That was a loogie right there. I'm back. Yeah, it was a little bit of a flashback there, so I think I'm good now. So what you got to do is you got your stuff outside. You got to defeat all those monsters that are outside. I mean, dinosaurs. So your drake is now hatched while you're outside. So you frantically run back to the room. You see there's a cute-ass little drake down there. He's got the little fluffy feathers on his head. He's all frolicky. He kind of looks like Chelsea here, except really, really small. Kind of small type. So what you got to do is you got to get that there nameless venom, and you put him in his inventory. And by some magic unbeknownst to us, he can eat out of his backpack that's non-existent, and he gets fed. I don't know how they do it. I don't know exactly where you're going to stick the nameless venom so it's in his inventory, but we'll leave that up to your discretion. Generally, I just put it on the floor in front of them and they scoop it up, but I wouldn't do that because it might not work. That was bad. That's how they did it back in the old days, and I think they've updated the rock drake. You just stayed up an hour longer just to hear this. It's so great. Oh, Jen, I don't want to keep you up. Somehow, I don't know how we ended up doing this, but apparently it's a thing. So, you got your rock drake, he's eating your nameless venom, and then you got to sit there, depending on your settings, you got to sit there for either 2 days on official, or just a couple hours on ours. So I like ours better. Do you have time to sit there for 2 days?
Well, I'll be sitting here for 2 days about now.
Oh, wow, that's pretty awesome. Then you're right on top of things. So your rock drake's probably about the size of a small house at this point. So,
there's all it takes is another blizzard, and I'm stuck here. So. Oh,
there you go. So, all right, that's pretty awesome. So, yeah, you've got your fully matured rock drake at that point, and then you got to make yourself a saddle. Do you have a saddle?
No.
You got yourself an adventure right there. Because to go down there and get yourself a saddle, you got to go to the red zone. Yeah,
What do you need for the saddle?
Oh, your unborn child, apparently, because you got to go to the red zone, which there's Reaper Kings, and you could ask my crab pinches about all that.
Well, just to totally complicate things for you, this rock drake isn't even on Aberration server.
Oh.
It's on Ragnarok.
Oh. Ragnarok.
So there's no red zones or blue zones or any of those things.
Well, do you have yourself an industrial grinder?
I wouldn't know where to look for a nameless.
Well, if you go,
I have a name.
It doesn't have a name or anything. Wait, you don't have yourself a base?
I have a foundation of a base.
Oh, that's good. So give yourself a couple days while you got your rock drake up there, and he's just gonna be a little friend here. He's gonna be your wander friend. So you can't ride him yet. You need to get yourself to your point where you can make yourself an industrial grinder, and then you got to get some tinto berries and make some red dye.
You need red dye?
Oh yeah, you need some red dye. You go to the wonderful little industrial grinder, and you go to the thing that says aberration, and then you click on the little thing that says red, green, or red gem. I can't tell which one it is without reading it.
Gramps, you're making this up now.
I'm not making this up. What you do? I've been through about 4 wars and freaking just listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. What you got to do is you got to go to the industrial grinder, and you got to click on this red gem thingy under the aberration tab. And what the thing is, you get some brown coloring, and you get some cantaloupe coloring. Don't question. It makes sense. Don't trust me. You got some crystal. You need 1 crystal. You need some white coloring, some red coloring, and tan coloring. And all that together, apparently, with that crystal in there, paints it red. You get enough of those, and you can make yourself a rock drake saddle. Everything else you can get on that there server, I think. It's just those red gems that are going to be your downfall unless you do my little recipe I said right there. Yep.
It doesn't look so bad, but I still think you're making it up.
I could be. Maybe I'm just a genius. She's speechless.
I've got crystal.
Oh, she's got the crystal. What about all the rest of the colorings?
Well, I've got berries.
What kind of berries?
I've got charcoal. I need charcoal for red dye, don't I?
Oh yeah, if you've been cooking some fires, you can pull some charcoal out of the campfires. You can use that for it. You're gonna need to put some water in that there cooking pot too if you want to make some.
Do I need a lot of those red things?
Quite a bit actually. Let me take a look-see in my notes. Let's see what we got here. We got some rock drakey. How much you gonna cost you? You need 85 of those things. 85 of those. You're all together for your rock drake saddle. You're gonna need about 225 fiber. The hide in the amount of 350. You need 125 metal ingots and about 85. It's right on the point of 85. 85 red gems. Yeah, that's about what he says. But otherwise, you got your rock drake friend hatched, so that's good.
Can the baby, when it's hatched, will it grow without the nameless venom? If I don't have any of that, can I still have a little rock drake?
You could. It might be a little scary. It might work.
It's going to be better than my level 1 wyvern?
Yeah, it's a problem. It might still work.
It's a damn good thing that level 1 wyvern flies.
Oh yeah. It could work still. It may work. The way the server settings is set up, it might mature. You may just need to get a nameless venom for it to work correctly, though. We may have to smuggle some. I've got this underground connection. His name's Darkwing 199. Have you ever heard of him? He's been known to do some runs down to that there blue zone and try to smuggle some across the servers, if you know what I mean. Now, nobody's hearing this.
The portals are still open.
Hey, the portals might still be open, but not for long. So, if you know a guy named Darkwing, maybe you should contact him. Because the Art of Caden here is all 100% on the down low, all right? He's not telling you any of this. You know what I'm saying? Hmm?
You can't grease your palm, is what you're
That's
saying.
what I'm saying. So, we're going to make sure that we're all on the down, we're all up front here, so we're not talking anything shady, but Darkwing 199 might be able to help you. You see what I'm saying?
We're getting into some pretty shady business here.
Well, you know, when you've lived as long as I have, you've learned a few tricks.
Painted counterfeit gems and spiky keisters, and it's just this. Who knew?
Who knew? I mean, it's the fine details of this arc that keeps me alive this long, is what I'm saying. One of these days, you might find my journal. Wouldn't that be something?
Find your what?
My journal.
I thought you said your girdle.
No,
Why
not
does
my
that sound
girdle.
really weird?
You're not finding my girdle or my gerbil. You're finding my journal. If I say it with a different accent, maybe you'll understand. It's a journal, yes. It's a thing you write down all your scrolls, stuff that you found in the past so other people can, make it. Yep. Well, anyways, I'm getting kind of sleepy. I might go back in here and let my grandson Caden come back in here. He's taken over the name of the Art of Caden, you see. I used to be that before he took it.
Well, go have a nap, Gramps. Thanks for all your excellent advice.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to go sleep between these stegos. It's nice and warm there if you didn't know. Well, have a good night, everybody. Hey.
Well, there went Gramps. He went to sleep. Grandpa Joe. Ah, goodness.